seems that every day we're reminded that we live in an era of great power rivalry, that the rules-based order is fading, that the strong can do what they can and the weak must suffer what they must.
Hey everybody, thanks for choosing to hang out with your host, the Conservative Bird, and me, Double D. And you're on the Brick Road Podcast.
Welcome back, everybody. We really appreciate you guys stopping by, hanging out with us tonight. Also, if you could beforehand, please make sure to hit the like, hit the share, hit the subscribe, and smash the notification. It is the quick, easy, and free way to help this channel grow as big as possible. So, Double D, we're taking a request today on a video to review. So we're going to watch Mark Carney, who is the Prime Minister of Canada. We're going to watch his speech. Canada. Sorry. We're going to watch his speech at Davos by request of, what was the individual's name?
Mark Carney, and the individual that request is Holy Cow 131. And thank you for that request, sir.
Yep.
And heard your request. We're going to analyze Mark Carney's speech at Davos.
So I don't know much about him. I just know I don't really care for Canada too much. Not the people, just the politics over there. It seems to be super far left-leaning.
I don't like their politics.
It
is very left.
So let's see why this individual wanted us to watch this.
But I would like to reiterate, though, it's not the Canadian people. We just don't like your current leadership right now.
Right.
But the people, from what I've met, a lot of Canadians that I've met here in Ohio have always been good people. But your leader sucks, just being honest. But we're going to analyze it. So go ahead and let that clip roll, Bert. I'll stop talking.
So submitted to no limits, no constraints. On the other hand, I would like to tell you that the other countries, especially intermediate powers like Canada, are not powerless. They have the capacity to build a new order that encompasses our values, such as respect for human rights, sustainable development, solidarity, sovereignty, and territorial integrity of the various states.
Time out for a minute.
It's hard for me to pay attention with this chick talking and,
Wait a minute. Is this all in French and then being translated? Is that what I thought? I mean, I didn't realize he only spoke French. I thought he spoke English, but okay.
Yeah.
All right. I mean, all right. I guess it is what it is. Okay.
Yeah, I didn't know either. I don't know much about this guy.
Power of the less power
that's the first I've learned.
starts with honesty.
It seems that every day we're reminded that we live in an era of great power rivalry, that the rules-based order is fading, that the strong can do what they can and the weak must suffer what they must. And this aphorism of Thucydides is presented as inevitable, as the natural logic of international relations reasserting itself. And faced with this logic, there is a strong tendency for countries to go along to get along, to accommodate, to avoid trouble, to hope that compliance will buy safety. Well, it won't. So what are our options? In 1978, the Czech dissident Václav Havel, later president, wrote an essay called The Power of the Powerless. And in it, he asked a simple question: how did the communist system sustain itself? And his answer began with the greengrocer. Every morning, the shopkeeper places a sign in his window: "Workers of the world unite." He doesn't believe it. No one does. But he places the sign anyway to avoid trouble, to signal compliance, to get along. And because every shopkeeper on every street does the same, the system persists. Not through violence alone, but through the participation of ordinary people in rituals they privately know to be false. Havel called this
You mean like
living
boys-
within a lie.
So is he talking about Trump?
I'm not sure what the fuck is he talking about.
Is he making this reference in reference to Trump? I'm confused. Like, what is this guy
I'm
talking
a little
about?
confused too, because he's talking about the Communist Party and how they came to power in 1978 in Czechoslovakia, which they were already in power in 78. So I'm not really. Well, what's he trying to say? That the shopkeepers were going along with the program to be safe? So what's he trying to tell us? That that's what they're doing?
I'm not
That
sure.
They're just going along?
Let's listen a little more. Maybe it'll
Because he hasn't gone along with us. I'll tell you that. I don't know. I can already tell this guy's a condescending, elitist, liberal prick.
The system's power comes not from its truth, but from everyone's willingness to perform as if it were true. And its fragility comes from the same source.
Wait, time out again, Bird. Okay, so we could actually make that simple reference. Isn't he in support of boys playing in girls' sports? And isn't he also in support of trans surgeries for 12 and 13 and 14-year-olds?
I mean, Canada.
Yeah, that's what I thought too.
Canada.
So who the fuck is going along with what?
Right.
Sounds to me like he's the one that's going along and just going along because he's a fucking coward.
Exactly.
All right, anyway.
One person stops performing. When the greengrocer removes his sign, the illusion begins to crack. Friends, it is time for companies and countries to take their signs down. For decades.
You notice he only got a couple claps because what the fuck is he talking about?
I have no idea what his point is. Let's let him keep going. Let's try to figure out what his point is. But right now, I'm fucking lost with this guy.
For decades, countries like Canada prospered under what we called the rules-based international order.
Okay.
We joined its institutions, we praised its principles, we benefited from its predictability. And because of that, we could pursue values-based foreign policies under its protection. We knew the story of the international rules-based order was partially false. That the strongest would exempt themselves when convenient. That trade rules were enforced asymmetrically. And we knew that international law applied with varying rigor depending on the identity of the accused or the victim. This fiction was useful. And American hegemony in particular helped provide public goods, open sea lanes, a stable financial system, collective security, and support for frameworks for resolving disputes. So we placed the sign in the window. We participated in the rituals. And we largely avoided calling out the gaps between rhetoric and reality. This bargain no longer works. Let me be direct.
What the fuck
We
is he
are in the
talking
midst
about?
of a rupture, not a transition. Over the past 2 decades, a series of crises in finance, health, energy, and geopolitics have laid bare the risks of extreme global integration. But more recently, great powers have begun using economic.
Okay, first of all, the last 2 decades have been under the rule of liberal rule throughout the entire Canada, United States, Europe. All right? Only 4 of those fucking years he's talking about were Trump. 5 if you include this one. This guy's a fucking clown. He's basically mad at himself for going along with all the liberalism that he fucking supports. He's a hypocrite and he's an elitist ass.
I'm not going to lie. We're about 4 minutes in. I still don't understand what the fuck he's trying to get at.
Oh, I know what he's trying to get at, dude. He's basically trying to say that America's been dictating the world stage, which is hardly from the fucking truth.
But
we've had Joe Biden bent over backwards kissing the ass of NATO and Davos and Charles Schwab and Larry Fink and the rest of those fucking assholes over in Davos. Fuck Mark Carney.
That doesn't make any sense because all these countries have been getting over on us.
They know that, dude. Then now they're not getting over on us anymore. They're trying to play the victim. Mark Carney can suck a fucking dick.
Economic integration as weapons. Tariffs as leverage. Financial infrastructure as coercion. Supply chains as vulnerabilities to be exploited. You cannot live within the lie of mutual benefit through integration when integration becomes the source of your subordination. The multilateral institutions on which the middle powers have relied, the WTO, the UN, the COP, the architecture, the very architecture of collective problem solving are under threat. And as a result, many countries are drawing the same conclusions, that they must develop greater strategic autonomy in energy, food, critical minerals, in finance and supply chains. And this impulse is understandable. A country that can't feed itself, fuel itself, or defend itself has few options. When the rules no longer protect you, you must protect yourself. But let's be clear-eyed about where this leads. A world of fortresses will be poorer, more fragile, and less sustainable. And there's another truth.
It's already poor and more fragile, less sustainable with liberalism for the last 25, 30 fucking years.
I know.
Who the fuck does this guy think he's talking to, man? What, do you think we've been under a rock, Mark Carney? You think we've been sitting under the fucking, underneath a car or something for the last 30 fucking years? You think we don't fucking know what's going on? Fuck him, dude. Fuck Mark Carney.
If great powers abandon even the pretense of rules and values for the unhindered pursuit of their power and interests, the gains from transactionalism will become harder to replicate. Hegemons cannot continually monetize their relationships. Allies will diversify to hedge against uncertainty. They'll buy insurance, increase options in order to rebuild sovereignty. Sovereignty that was once grounded in rules but will increasingly be anchored in the ability to withstand pressure. This room knows this is classic risk management. Risk management comes at a price. But that cost of strategic autonomy, of sovereignty, can also be shared. Collective investments in resilience are cheaper than everyone building their own fortresses. Shared standards reduce fragmentation.
So is this dude basically saying he's a socialist?
I don't know. We already know he's a socialist. I think he's trying to say that collectivism and socialism is going to work, but we're the only country that hasn't been practicing that in NATO. The rest of them have, and they're financially bankrupt and fucked right now. And we're supposed to feel sorry for them because we don't want to be a socialist economy,
right,
because we don't want to be a third world country, because we don't want to be an economic failure. And worse than that, a political failure. You know what the problem with the politics in Canada is? They got too many fucking chiefs and not enough goddamn Indians. Enough's enough, man. Enough's enough. Just, you know what? Let's get to the part where he talks about America, because really, I can't listen to any more of this communist bullshit for another 10 minutes. Let's get to the part about America.
Complementarities are positive sum.
I don't know where the part is.
And the question for middle powers like Canada is not whether to adapt to the new reality. We must. The question is whether we adapt by simply building higher walls or whether we can do something more ambitious.
Yeah,
now, Canada was amongst the first to hear the wake-up call.
How about stop trying to take advantage of us and then not get mad when we decide to cut you off from taking advantage of us? It's like this is like simple. This is like basic economics. If you're taking advantage of us and we cut it off, oh well, tough luck.
Yeah, figure it out on your own. You got plenty of resources.
This is
in Canada. They're not fucking broke.
It's crazy because he's doing a whole speech to cry about the fact that we're not going to help him like we used to anymore. But he's telling us that he wants to be on his own. Well, stop crying about it and go fucking do it, pussy.
Bird, it's not even about not helping them anymore. We just want them to pay their fucking share.
Right.
In accordance with, that's all. Pay your fucking share.
Which in turn, that means we're not helping them anymore. We're not just giving them free handouts anymore.
I mean, basically, they've been charging us tariffs for the last 20 years. We have been giving them tariff-free until fucking Trump took presidency again. We've been giving everybody in the entire world tariff-free while we've been paying it all along. And then you got these fucking idiot liberals running around, oh, tariffs are bad, they're going to raise the prices. Horse shit. They're not raising shit.
Right.
You know what they're doing? They're lowering prices and forcing people to make more here at home.
Yep.
We're becoming self-sufficient ourselves, and the world is upset that we're no longer allowing them to depend on us, and we're not. And you know what? Pay for that protection.
Yeah.
leading us to fundamentally shift our strategic posture.
To what?
Canadians know that our old, comfortable assumptions that our geography and alliance memberships automatically conferred prosperity and security, that assumption is no longer valid. And our new approach rests on what Alexander Stubb, the President of Finland, has termed value-based realism. Or to put another way, we aim to be both principled and pragmatic. Principled in our commitment to fundamental values, sovereignty, territorial integrity, the prohibition of the use of force except when consistent with the UN Charter, and respect for human rights. And pragmatic in recognizing that progress is often incremental, that interests diverge, that not every partner will share all of our values. So we're engaging broadly, strategically with open eyes. We actively take on the world as it is, not wait around for a world we wish to be. We are calibrating our relationships so their depth reflects our values.
Hold on, I want to replay that again. Just that little piece right there. Let's go back.
For a world we wish to be.
Oh, wait, hold on. No. Sorry, back a little bit more.
You mean the world he wishes to be?
So we're
right?
engaging broadly, strategically with open eyes. We actively take on the world as it is, not wait around for a world we wish to be.
You know what? These people are fucking hypocrites.
What kind of
Double D.
world does he
Hold on,
wish to be?
hold on. These people are fucking hypocrites, right? Isn't that exactly what Donald Trump's doing right now? Right?
Yeah,
He's
exactly
taking the
what
world
Trump
for
wants
what
to
it
do.
is, and he's making it what it needs to be. That's literally what he's doing right now. And these people are crying and bitching and complaining about it. This is what's wrong with these hypocritical libtards. Right? They want to sit there and cry and complain and sit there and bitch and moan about everything that Trump does, but then they do the same exact shit.
Actually, they don't do jack shit for their people, if you ask me. If anything, they've been sitting around laughing at their constituents for voting for them year after year and election after election. Canada, you voted for this guy. Well, you voted for the party that put him into place. I understand how the parliamentary system works.
Yeah.
But the majority is obviously the Liberal Party
Right.
that put this idiot in the fucking in their prime minister position in the first place. They basically took an illiterate, incompetent, elitist fool in Justin Trudeau, and he was a fool. He was a fool who never shut the fuck up either, by the way. And then they replaced him with just a taller fool. Really?
Yeah.
And he speaks better English.
Yeah.
But other than that, it's the same people. Just one's 6'5" and the other one's 5'2".
Yeah.
We are calibrating our relationships so their depth reflects our values. And we're prioritizing broad engagement to maximize our influence. Given the fluidity of the world at the moment, the risks that this poses, and the stakes for what comes next. And we are no longer just relying on the strength of our values, but also the value of our strength. We are building that strength at home. Since my government took office, we have cut taxes on incomes, on capital gains and business investment. We have removed all federal barriers to interprovincial trade. We are fast-tracking $1 trillion of investments in energy, AI, critical minerals, new trade corridors, and beyond. We're doubling our defense spending by the end of this decade, and we're doing so in ways that build our domestic industry.
I mean, that's a good thing for your
That actually
country.
sounds, now that part I agree with him on.
Yeah, we should all.
I agree with that.
I think all countries
should be
should
doing
be
that.
protecting their countries.
Absolutely. They should be protecting their countries and doing for their constituents and the people that put them there. So Mark Carney, I will commend you on that part. So far, you're still an asshole though, but I do agree with what he just said there. I do agree with everything he just said there. So,
And we are rapidly diversifying
he's still
abroad.
an elitist asshole though.
We've agreed a comprehensive strategic partnership with the EU, including joining SAFE, the European Defence Procurement Arrangements. We have signed 12
that I
other
think is a
trade and
bad
security
idea.
deals on
Yeah.
4 continents in 6 months. The past few days, we've concluded new strategic partnerships with China and Qatar.
China.
We're negotiating
China. It comes from China.
free trade pacts with
Well,
India,
China's
ASEAN,
gonna-
Thailand,
here, time
Philippines,
out.
and Mercosur.
the Canadian people are gonna find out, just like we found out when the Chinese start buying up all their property around these new military bases they're gonna have to build, because they don't have the military infrastructure. No matter what he says, their infrastructure is our infrastructure for the most part. So they do have their own, obviously, but it's not big yet. But I agree, he needs to build that. However, all these people that he's making these pacts with,
Yeah.
kind of make him a threat to the United States and North America, honestly.
Yeah. It's true.
Now, if we work something out with the Peace Council, with Putin and President Xi, and we can relax some of those tensions, then you know what? Mark Carney might be onto something geopolitically. But if that doesn't happen, I think he just made the wrong chess move.
Yes, sir.
He's
We're doing
banking
something
on it.
else. To help
He's
solve
gambling
global
hard.
problems, we're pursuing variable geometry. In other words, different coalitions for different issues based on common values and interests.
There's no such thing as
So in
variable
Ukraine,
geometry.
we're a core member
Geometry
of the
is an
Coalition of the
absolute
Willing,
formula.
and one of the largest
Variable
per capita
geometry.
contributors to its defense and security. On Arctic sovereignty, we stand firmly with Greenland and Denmark and fully support their unique right to determine Greenland's future.
Okay, so
Too
that's where we're
bad.
at. All
Too
right.
bad. Trump got
That's-
it. It's ours. Sorry, bud. Nobody
Yeah.
cares what you fucking
So that's-
Canadians have to say about what we do. Nobody cares. You guys stay up there with
Yeah.
your maple syrup and your Canucks and your Canadian leaves and your Mounties and have fun, all right? Stay up there with all your communists, Justin Trudeau's, and all your fucking idiots, and let us live our life and do what we do.
Well, like I said, I agree with. I mean, obviously his speech is over. I'm taking it that's pretty much the end of it. Or, I mean, is there anything that he does say about the United States?
I don't know. I haven't watched it yet. This is my first time watching it.
It seems to me like, I mean, it just sounds to me like, it basically sounds to me like he's bragging a little bit.
Yeah.
And he's trying to bully the United States. My take on it is Mark Carney's trying to pull off the art of the deal
Yeah.
to manipulate us. I say, you know what, dude?
Try it, buddy.
I agree with that. So, yeah, I agree with what he's doing. I think you should be making other deals. Now, I also think that they should have been offering the United States all these deals they've been offering China and Russia and Qatar and India and the rest of them. But hey, you got to do what you got to do for you, man. You
Yeah.
got to do what you got to do for you. But
Hey.
but don't shit on America and expect us to come up and grow some and bring you roses. It's just not going to happen.
So, my takeaway from all this, I've learned nothing other than this dude's an idiot.
I mean, well, the one thing that I learned from it is he is obviously a socialist, borderline communist. He's probably right there with the Democratic Socialists of America. They're pretty much the same people. He didn't have the advantage of being able to use identity politics because most of Canada, there's 30 million of them or 35 million of them. Their diversity is limited in comparison to ours as far as immigration. And I mean, despite what Canada says about America, they have pretty strict immigration laws there. Now, they do bring in whatever the elitist globalists tell them to bring in, like the Islams and all the refugees and stuff like that. I know they push for that. Like Europe does, which is kind of self-depreciating. I don't understand why they do that, but I understand why they do that here because the Democrats get votes out of it. They get representation. That's why they do it.
Exactly.
I'm not sure if that works. How does that work in a parliamentary system? I'm not sure. Hey, maybe you could help us out with that. Holy cow! How does that work in a parliamentary system as far as making decisions on immigration? I'd be curious. Feel free to throw in the comments. Tell me what you think on that.
Yeah, just let us know.
My take on it is I agree that they should be more self-sufficient, but I definitely don't like him as a person. I'm sorry, I don't like Mark Carney as a person.
Yeah.
I think he's a wolf in sheep's clothing.
Could be right. I don't really have no opinion on him. It is what it is. He ain't got no skin off my back what this idiot thinks about us.
I mean, I pretty much have some pretty, obviously, I have a pretty, hardcore opinion of the guy after listening to him. I think he was I think he was trying to flex his muscle a little bit, but he let his elitist, narcissistic assholeism in the way of his point.
Yeah, I agree. Well, let us know what you guys think about him down in the comments below. And I think we're going to wrap it up on that note. So I just want to thank God, because without him, none of this is possible. I want to thank the audience, Double D, my friends and family, everybody that's supportive. Really appreciate you guys.
And as always, Bird, thanks for making the show happen. You do this every week systematically and efficiently, and I love it. Audience, hey, as always, thanks for stopping by. And if you made it to the end of it, sorry you had to hear my rant. And holy cow, just so you know, my view of Mark Carney is not a reflection of the Canadian people. I know we make jokes and stuff like that, and we probably will continue to do that because that's what we do. We may make fun of everybody. But again, thanks for the idea. Be a little fired up. I do think your leader's a communist, but that's for you all to decide. He's not my president, so it doesn't really matter. And most importantly, though, I would like to thank my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ for giving me this opportunity to beat up on Mark Carney today. That was awesome. And with all that, good night, y'all. And America, stay free, America.
All right, everybody, have a good one. Peace.